Hello, my fellow Kenyans. I'm Gakonga, your coach and the pioneer of Vision Total Football Kenya. My fellow Kenyans, today I want to talk about Radio Jambo show. And the reason why I want to talk about Radio Jambo is because Nicholas Musonye, one of the FKF president seat aspirant, was there yesterday. And I want to talk about this talk show because I feel this talk show is failing Kenyans in one way or the other, and I'm going to explain why. Now, yesterday, I listened to the show. I have listened it before. The show is fine. But when it comes to the issue of football presidents, I want this Radio Jambo show to be able to dig out the facts when they bring the candidates on the show to discuss the issues of Kenyan football. Otherwise, Kenyans are being cheated. I want to say this. Yesterday, when I listened to Nicholas Musonye being asked a question which had come from one of the counties at the grassroots, because the questions were coming from the grassroots. And the issue of former players, Musonye said that he is going to work with the UEFA and North America to do something to help the former football players in Kenya. I want to say this, Kenyans, do you think UEFA is interested with the issue of former football players in Kenya? Kenyans, do you think that North America is interested in dealing with issues of former football players in Kenya? Now, that is a question, jijazie mwenyewe. But, Kenyans, you will be fooled until the last day. You will be fooled and you will elect a cow, a sheep, a dog to be your FKF football president. Wakenya, tuamkeni. Wakenya, tuamkeni. Now, the issue of private academies in Kenya. Again, this is another question was asked yesterday to Nicholas Musonye. How are you going to deal with the issue of private football academies in Kenya? He said he is going to find a way to include private football academies in the federation, how they are going to work with the federation. I want to say this. When he said about finding the way how, this is the second question, and the answer is we are going to find the way how. This how is not an answer. That every candidate is saying we are going to find the way how. We are going to find the way how. You cannot decide to be a candidate. You cannot decide to be an aspirant and then keep telling Kenyans we are going to find the way how. So you want to be elected, and then when you are elected and you are on that seat, you spend 4 years finding the way how. I've listened to nearly every single candidate and they keep saying tutatafuta njia, tutaangalia ni vipi, tutatafuta how. Kenyans have no that time. Now, the issue of establishing at least 2 football academies in every region, or excellence center, at least 2 in every region. I know this idea worked a long time ago during Coach Fabish. That is long time ago. Kenya had a very small population. As of today, there is no centers of excellence. There is no those 2-3 academies here that are going to help the issue of Kenyan football. We want to see all the youth that want to play football in Kenya included, and the issue of 2 centers of excellence in every region is not going to help. That's a very small initiative. That is the work that should be done by private academies, and they are already doing that. So the issue here is the federation has failed, and every aspirant is coming with the same idea. They are not giving us new idea. So when Nicholas Musonye says that he's going to establish 2 football academies in each region, what is the difference between that and what Nick Mwendwa has already done in Nairobi by establishing 1 center of excellence in a place called Dhome, where it is housing 15 boys. The boys in this place, they are being homeschooled there, they are living there, and it is costing 29 million Kenya shilling per year. Is this the process that we need as Kenya as a country to nurture youth talent? How many academies can we have if one is costing 29 million a year, and we are talking of establishing academies around the country to nurture youth? These are ideas from people without idea. These are ideas from people without a vision. Kenyans, let us talk about Kenyan football vision that is going to help youths who are 70% of the population. Having academy in Mombasa, 1, or 2? How is that going to help the population of Mombasa, which is close to 1 million? Having 2 academies in Kiambu, how is that going to established by the federation? I mean, how is that going to help the youths of Kiambu? And Kiambu population is 2.4 million. So we are being cheated. Kenyans, you are being fed nonsense. Kenyans, you are being fed dreams that can never work. Kenyans, if I can point the way, we need to be told by this aspirant how all the youths of Kenya are going to be included in Kenyan football. How a Pokot, how a Turkana will one day find themselves playing for Harambee Stars. It is not through these 2 or 3 center of excellency. Now, my fellow Kenyans, I've listened to all the aspirants. The issue of Kenyan football economy, the issue of inclusivity. All they keep talking about is Harambee Stars and Starlet. They never talk about how to deal with the issue of youth football in the country, how to deal fully with the issue of women football across the country, how to deal with amateur football across the country. I never hear this. Everything is rounded around Harambee Stars and Starlet. Therefore, Wakenya wenzangu, we need to stop hearing this issue of we will find a way, we will find a way. It has proved already that in 100 days, see what Major General Badi has done for Nairobi. In just 100 days, it shows you that the people who are leading us in Kenyan football have no vision, or had no vision before they got elected. That's why you keep hearing the current regime is saying buying tickets on time is an achievement. Yeah, playing players on time is an achievement. This is because we always get cheated. We always elect people without vision. For me, to guarantee the future of Kenyan football, I am saying the idea of election must be no. The idea of normalization committees must be no. The idea of dialogue on the table between the aspirant and between the current president, Nick Mwendwa, must be no. The way to go is a football revolution so that things can be streamlined, things can be restructured, proper federations can be established before an election is done. Because once we straighten the system, even a cow, ng'ombe, anaweza kuchaguliwa and will perform in FKF than many football presidents in the past and than many aspirants that are talking about becoming the president. Tuchague ng'ombe na atafanya kazi vilivyo ikiwa kuna system. The most important thing for the Kenyan football right now is to talk about the system and how to fix the system so that everyone who is elected at least can have some achievement. We want a system that can hold itself accountable. We want a system that can oversight itself. We want a system that can stop corruption within our football. Because I remember once again, when Nicholas Musonye was asked the issue of corruption in football, he said, if there is corruption in the federation, when I become the president, Kenyans come and arrest me. This will not happen in Kenya. This is an answer that is not helpful to Kenyans. Public arrest in Kenya is not legal and it will not happen. This is the same thing happen right now. If you ask Nick Mwendwa about the corruption in the federation, he always says, go to DCI if you have evidence. So what's the difference between that answer and the one solution Nicholas Musonye was giving about public arresting him if there is corruption? This is the best way of avoiding reality, avoiding accountability, avoiding real questions. So therefore, Wakenya wezangu tunadanganywa. Wakenya wezangu mnadanganywa. Tusikizeni vile tunasema. Watu wa vision, we understand what we are talking about. And that's why we say none of us is interested in being elected or becoming FKF president. Because it is not our way. Our way is to stay neutral. Our way is to show the way forward and to show the way to streamline the system, to restructure the system, to sort out the federation, to sort out the economy of football. Players are suffering. I keep saying about players, yeah. Martin Balambala, yeah. The other player yesterday or the day before, you know, Jeremy, he has been in all the medias. Who is talking about him? Let the federation talk about him. Let the aspirant talk about these players who are suffering. How are they going to do to make sure that players have medical covers, players have the correct insurance, players are being paid well? These are things that we want to hear coming from the manifestos of these so purported leaders of tomorrow's FKF. For us, it is the system. Kenyans, fight for the system. Join this struggle for the fight of our football. Betterment of our football will only come through a better system. I will say it again, ng'ombe ama umbwa akichaguliwa will perform with a better system. So anyone who is talking anything else rather than sorting the system is lying to 50 million Kenyans. Now, the issue of sports fund. It is sad, really sad, to hear FKF president and the aspirant talking about that the government can channel the sports fund to the federation to make sure the federation is functioning well when they are elected. The issue of sports fund was established in 2013 through Sports Act. Yeah, that was pioneered by Ababu Namwamba as the CS for sports. And it is the idea of the government of Jubilee to establish sports fund so that it can help grassroots football and many other areas within sports and music. Yeah, so sports fund is not something that FKF aspirant should be asking for, or FKF president, and almost thinking that this is their birthright, that government to channel money in the federation. The federation and the Kenyan Premier League should be multi-billion entities. And unless we have thinking people, unless we have think tanks who are going to work out how these two entities can become multi-billion entities, they will continue to sing about sports fund. So what is in sports fund right now? 8 billion Kenya shillings. When you know that FKF could become a 20 billion entity plus. When you know that KPL can become a 25 billion entity right now if it was managed well. So people who are talking about sports fund, they have failed. This is telling you a lot about our Kenyan football, that the leaders within our Kenyan football have failed so much that they have to talk about sports fund. My fellow Kenyans, let us focus on the system, streamlining and restructuring the system. That is the way forward. That is the way 50 million Kenyans are going to benefit from our football. You don't have to be a football player. You can be a coach. You can be a football scout. You can be a football administrator. You can be a nutritionist. You can be a doctor within football. The area of football is so big. The area of sport is so big. It will employ so many people. But before that, we need a better system. We need a good system. We need think tanks. This is the only way forward. This European football we keep worshipping. It is not as a result of miracle. It is as a result of what I'm talking about. And this is why you see, for me, right now I'm based in UK, but hardly you will see me posting success of English Premier League on my channel, or posting games, posting the Raheem Sterling when they score. This is not something I want to do. Raheem Sterling came from the club that I am. As a junior, he played for my club. Why am I not talking about him? Because talking about English football is not going to help Kenyan football. What we need is to focus on our Kenyan football. And for me to continue posting EPL games in my channel is just another way of killing our football in Kenya and of killing the vision for our Kenyan football. Wakenya wenzangu, let us focus on the system. Let us talk about fixing the system. Let us talk about fixing the roads before the next FKF election. Wakenya wenzangu, have a good day. I leave you in peace. I'm gone.